But worst and more disgraceful is the Government of Canada's outright dismissal of health and cancer claims in my community, and takes the unprecedented step of lodging complaints against our doctor, Dr. John O'Connor, for causing undue alarm to my community. This action, rather than any of these governments coming to the aid of my community to at least find substance to the claims, and if there was in fact a problem, to assist in finding resolutions. The industry is also complicit in these less than stellar actions for never once championing advancing the critical issues, but rather who choose to hide behind and echo the government's position. And more shameful, they have recently been flexing their strength against anyone, including myself and the chiefs, for vocalizing our concerns. Since then, my community has been labeled alarmists, to just more Indians out for a buck, borderline racist, and clearly discriminatory. Fort Chipewyan has demonstrated leadership in making this industry more accountable, more responsible.
We've had over 40 court cases across this country upholding the recognition of our title and rights. What's required now is for governments to sit down with the First Nations governments on a nation-to-nation basis. And so, to Mr. Cameron, we want to thank you for joining in this effort. Coming from Ontario, we remind him he is upholding that notion of we are all treaty people. Those treaties weren't just signed with the First Nations, with the Indigenous peoples of these lands. They were signed onto with all Canadians. And so it is, we encourage Canadians to join with us, to walk with us, to recognize the First Nations' plight as Mr. Cameron is doing, not only for this country, but indeed for the world. And for that, we are very grateful, Mr. Cameron, for your presence, for your support, and for building this very strong relationship that is entrenched in the notion of those treaties. And so I join in the strong support for what we're hearing from the leadership here today, and that this effort will continue, and the Assembly of First Nations stands with you. Thank you.